What do you think of all the announcements? 18 in total. Lots and lots of new technology coming out from IGEL and in partnership with all our phenomenal partners. What we've now done, we've taken many of you we worked with on doing TCO studies and so forth. So what we've done is today we're releasing an ROI report that on average across 140 customers shows 62% savings. The savings come 52% from hardware, 25% from IT labor running more efficient help desk, etc., and then 23% from software savings. Announcing something new today. So that's our new elite program for technology professionals, ITP. So this is for the very smartest people around IGEL. We are creating this new program where we will be gathering the best folks from the channel, a few people from customers as well, and to give IGEL input on our direction, what would you like to see next, but also keeping the experts up to speed on what's coming around the corner. We talk about IGEL as the secure endpoint OS platform for now and next. This breaks down in I call this the classic IGEL business, which is the IGEL OS. You have our adaptive secure desktop that we launched earlier this year. And then you have 5 ways of deploying applications. So this is how all of you are using IGEL today. But 6 weeks ago, we announced something what I find very profound. And that's basically IGEL Business Continuity and Disaster Recovery. So this is when you think about how you leverage IGEL in your organization. You might be using IGEL in a third of your desktops. You might be using IGEL in half of your desktops. But there's the other half that's running Windows OS. And what we come out with now is a phenomenal solution where you can basically install IGEL next to Windows. And what happens is basically you go from it's a 30% use case with IGEL to 100%. So 100% of your endpoints now could run on IGEL. And what we've done is we've taken and created what we call dual boot. So you, on the PCs, you say we're going to run Windows here, you install IGEL next to it. If you get compromised, ransomware attacked, you have a software outage, you can then simply hold down the IGEL 112 key, which might be on F9 or F12, and then you boot to IGEL. And this way, you're back in production, you have connectivity to your services in minutes, not days or weeks that it normally takes to recover from a ransomware attack. I want to welcome to the stage a special friend of IGEL, Scott Manchester. Great to have you. You did an amazing job in Miami. You've done an amazing job for year on for IGEL on these conferences. And we just really appreciate the partnership with you and Microsoft. So let's tell the people what you have in store for them. Thank you.
Thank you, Klaus. This is a solution for everyone. Whether you're embracing virtualization today or not, Windows 365 Reserve provides an emergency cloud PC when you need it. So if you've got an organization, maybe 10,000 employees, and every single user got hit with malware, ask yourself, how would you respond? If you're responsible for your compute resources within your organization, what would you do if every single one of your users got hit with malware? Or got hit with a situation like CrowdStrike, right? How do you respond to that? This new solution at a very, very low cost, the cost of a cup of coffee, gives you that BCDR solution available in the cloud anytime. I'm excited to share that also IGEL is one of our first partners to support Windows 365 Reserve in the IGEL OS as well.
I picked that song for a very specific reason. And really, it comes down to it being a great description of a lot of today's challenges with cyber incidents and what you do around business continuity. And without proper preparation, the cost and impact of these sorts of incidents can be really extreme. And honestly, that road to recovery can really feel like a highway to hell. With that, we believe we can help you take those days or weeks that it takes to recover those endpoints today and match the recovery time objectives for the rest of the infrastructure. We'll help you move that Windows component that may have been there off to the side while you're going through your incident response and recovery processes, continue your normal operations, and put you into this secure environment. This is something that we deliver in minutes rather than days or weeks to keep your businesses moving. The business continuity solutions that we provide from IGEL can help you and your organization on that bad day, that highway to hell of endpoint recovery. And what we're going to do for you is we're going to turn that into a top-down, wind in your hair, smooth ride down the Autobahn to recovery, keeping your business rolling during your next outage. Thank you.
An announcement that we're very proud of today, that we are announcing the integration of IGEL OS 12 with VNC Lagoon. That's a major step forward for us to sovereign digital workspaces. Together, we are bringing a complete collaboration and communication suite directly into the trusted IGEL OS 12 infrastructure. The integration gives organizations the freedom to collaborate and securely knowing that the data is exactly where it's supposed to be, on their premises, in their hands.
This speaks for itself. You have these logos up there. All these companies are leaders in their respective markets. For us at IGEL, it's very important to not only support a certain piece of software, we also want to be able to talk to that company, to support their product, also in a sense of collaboration, being up to date with what they are doing, them being up to date what we are doing. We can use them in a desktop, a remote desktop. You heard Scott Manchester speaking, Windows 365, AVD. You can certainly use them locally on IGEL OS.
I just want to explain a little bit about this edge cloud principle, because we run this cloud. It's not an external cloud, it's a cloud we have on-premise in our data center, because it's very important that we have a secure connection and very fast connection. For example, if you have a logic control unit, for example, for the equipment in the production, you need and you want to make this in a virtualized way, so you can put it in this data center and run the software there. But you need a very fast connection. For example, if you have an emergency stop, so the machine must stop directly. And this principle we also use with this Omnissa Horizon, which we have on-premise in the data center. And in this Omnissa Horizon area, we put some application we use in the line. We also use a UMS server from IGEL, and so we have a health check of every client, so we can see if something is wrong. And it's very easy. We can shut down the system, run it again, and so we have a very quick result in the production that the system is working. And also it's very secure because we have it on-premise, so we have no problem with external causes of some difficulties.
So in this case, the adaptive secure desktop as a role-based zero trust desktop personalization comes into play. Dynamically configures your desktop at login, fully isolated at logout and governed through the IGEL UMS. With personas, every login is a unique experience for that user. So what this means, when a user authenticates, either through Okta, Entra ID, or any other supported identity provider, the UMS picks up that identity, looks for the actual persona and the role that it needs to fill in, and configures the device instantly to what it's supposed to do. Whether it's applications, configuration, whether it's security parameters, or access to peripherals. All of this can be personalized now.
So in principle, the active UMS provides a capability to simplify the management and orchestration of policies in dynamic security and policy enforcement environments across multiple endpoints and domains, bringing all of the things you're hearing about at Now and Next together.
What we're working on right now is combining that Imprivata integration with the IGEL integration that we've done and having those together on one device. So you will, in the end, have a solution where you've got that strong identity and access protection from Imprivata. Doctor badges into the machine. Client connector is now sending traffic to Zscaler as that user, and then we're applying our sandbox, DLP, and all of those other great controls. And all of that is protected by the IGEL OS on the device. So it's a really clean, simple solution that actually provides security end-to-end, from the beginning for the authentication all the way to traffic to that destination.
We've also built new workflows in, and one of those workflows is what we call the local custom app workflow. What that means is it allows you as a customer, if you have a sensitive application that you don't want to share with IGEL, to get all of the credentials, all of the data that you need, including the SDK, a public key, a private key, to build your own app in your own CI/CD pipeline. So every customer now has the ability to build a secure application, not on the IGEL workflow, but in your own infrastructure. We've also updated the IGEL Ready Partner App workflow. And with update, I mean we are moving away from a workflow that was running in a separate portal and integrating this into the IGEL App Creator portal. It allows people, partners that are actually using or building apps for IGEL to run through a full managed workflow. From submission to publishing, it's one flow with full transparency on where you are in the process. An easier workflow for you as an IGEL Ready partner to build the app. This year, we welcome Stratodesk into the IGEL family, combining two very powerful technologies to have one shared vision, to simplify and secure the edge for every enterprise. And today, I'm thrilled to announce that we have now launched the Stratodesk No-Touch OS to IGEL OS 12 conversion tool. That's a mouthful, right? What this allows you, it gives you the capability to directly update from within a Stratodesk infrastructure to an IGEL OS 12 infrastructure. This means with this migration, the transition is fast, controlled, and easy. It's remotely triggered, so you can use the No-Touch Center to start the process, and the device will end up in a UMS reconfigured as OS 12.
Every endpoint has a story to tell. Some are stories of performance, fast, efficient, smooth. And there are some stories which are quite painful. Frozen screens, slow apps, security issues. And the truth is, most of these stories are unheard. Thousands of devices, millions of data points. They are invisible, forgotten. And this is what inspired us to build IGEL Insights, to give every single endpoint a voice. Because when you know what is happening as IT, you not only understand what is at the endpoint, you can better manage it. So with our deep knowledge of the OS, because we build the OS, we understand the heartbeat of the operating system. We believe we understand every signal, every process, every policy. And with all this data coming from the endpoints, and also with the data that we understand from UMS, we are able to combine these and marry them together and make sure that we actually come up with an insights platform that is truly visible. Not just visible, but it also provides the clarity of why something is happening in a certain way.
No matter which operating system you're running, we have added a feature, we call it the immutability mode. What this means is any operating system running in our virtual infrastructure, running in our hypervisor, every time you reboot, it comes back in a known good state. So while you run the Windows operating system and you apply applications, you have, it runs as a regular operating system, all of those writes to the hard drive, they don't persist. So when you reboot, the system comes up fresh in a new state. I have a very short video on this, about this exciting announcement, and let's roll the video. That's a regular Windows desktop. And what you see here, running on IGEL OS 12. It is customized, there are apps installed, someone did something to the system. When you reboot or restart, what's happening? The system comes back in a fresh, original mode. Everything that was persistent comes back, so it's now a fresh Windows that was without changes. All of the changes that you saw before are gone. So this really gives you the ability to make the experience that you get with IGEL OS to being immutable, also to every operating system that runs on IGEL OS 12. And that helps you to add more security, more definition of what is a known good state on a Windows operating system. Isn't that great?
For right now, we're going to announce here, for the first time, app volumes for the IGEL managed hypervisor.
So tell us a little bit more about it. What does it do?
So let's look at it. So obviously, with IGEL's devices, you have all of your applications available. But those Windows applications, can they run offline? Well, they can with the new IMH.
Right.
But we're able to provide them via app volumes to those different VMs that you have on the device. And that means that even if you refresh the VMs, you're able to continue to get those applications.
And you could still have the immutability feature turned on, so your system, the operating system stays immutable, and you can update apps, right?
Exactly. So if there's any malware or any issue with your device, you can easily wipe the Windows machine, and the apps are still there, and the users are continued to work. It doesn't matter where the users landed, they're able to get their apps.
We are announcing today the 6th addition to our app delivery methodology, the IGEL managed containers. So, what is that? With IMC, IGEL managed containers, IT can deploy, manage, monitor, and update containers, just like native apps, across all managed IGEL endpoints. It's powered by OCI-compliant containers like Docker, Podman, and tightly governed by our UMS with policies and signed containers. This means this is about giving customers the freedom to deploy workloads, safe and managed. Partners can distribute, for instance, microservices in an OT, IoT environment, or they can deploy more easily things like applications that they are containerizing in their infrastructure. We are going to be a dynamic, manageable infrastructure for all of your containerized workloads.
We have now come up with an IGEL OS for ARM that runs natively on the ARM platform. The entire security model, the manageability aspects, all of these, we are able to bring it onto the ARM architecture. What is even more interesting is that whether a worker who's given a tablet can exploit by running whatever apps that they want, or even trying to download whatever that they want. But with IGEL OS on an ARM device, it can make it immutable. It can make it even more safer for all these people who are to run their operations using an ARM platform. And the best of all is that you can manage every single device, whether you want to reboot, whether you want to provision, all from UMS.
Today we are talking about the IGEL AI Armor. So what this means, let's dive into this. It all starts with IGEL OS. Imagine you are working on your IGEL OS machine, a laptop, PC, anything. Whether you are doing office stuff or you're a scientist running some very specific workloads. Today you are protected by the way we design IGEL OS, our preventative security model, right? Gives you a very static, immutable operating system where your admin knows what is being deployed, what is being done on it. So if we add a more dynamic, more runtime-oriented layer that specifically protects and controls AI workflows, that gives you unmatched security, right? Zero trust, our zero trust approach with AI governance. That is something people want. People talk about running AI, but some people even prohibit the use of AI, right? We don't want you to prohibit in your company the use of AI. We want you to benefit from it. And this is why we are creating the right framework to make AI secure, controlled, and compliant. I know this is a very technical audience. A lot of you are probably already thinking, okay, that means we need to have a solution in place to enable, disable access, very selective, and this is exactly what we are giving you with the IGEL AI Armor.
It's only 6 months ago, we had another 20 announcements in Miami. So as you can see, the innovation pace is moving very, very fast at IGEL. Give us input. Make sure that if there's stuff you want to use IGEL for that we are not thinking about, bring it to us. So some of all the innovations that we come out with actually come from you, the customers, because you bring us ideas.